Hey Collide, I'm so glad you're here as we tackle the next week of our series called You Can. This one is all about how following Jesus helps us to develop resilience. Now remember, resilience is the willingness to get back up and grow stronger from challenges and setbacks. Now what's tricky about developing something like resilience is that we tend to think we have to do it all on our own. We think it's something that we can and should develop by ourselves. But as we'll talk about today, that's not always the case. Now to start, I want you to think about your answer to this question. When was the last time that you asked for help? Was it when you needed a friend to help you pick out an outfit, or you needed somebody to jump in and join your squad on Fortnite, or maybe you had to ask your parents to help you out with some money? When was the last time that you asked for help? When I think about the last time I should have asked for help, I actually think about when I was about 13 years old. And I was helping out with some chores in our backyard. Now see, our backyard was on a pretty steep hill, and I was using a wheelbarrow to help move some stones from the road next to our house up to one of the flower beds. But here's the thing. I have two older brothers, and any of you who have older siblings, you might know that there's moments where you want to prove yourself, and I wanted to prove that I was as strong as they were. So I overfilled my wheelbarrow. It was real full. It was so heavy I couldn't move it well at all. And on the way up the hill, as I'm struggling and straining and pushing, it got stuck in a divot. And not wanting my brothers to think I wasn't strong enough, I decided to push it as hard as I possibly could. So I pushed and it didn't move. And I pushed and it didn't move. And so I pushed as hard as I possibly could to get it out of the divot instead of asking for help. And when I did it, I eventually got it out of the divot and it started moving up the hill. And I was going full force, running up the hill until the wheelbarrow hit another divot. And wham, my shin cracked right into the edge of the wheelbarrow.
Ouch!
And the wheelbarrow had stopped and I hit it going full force. I hit the wheelbarrow so hard, I chipped a piece of my bone.
Ew.
And to this day, I still have a bump in the front of my shin. Now, all of this could have been avoided if I had just asked someone for help. But sometimes the hardest thing to do is admit you can't do it on your own. We all tend to hide or cover up what we're dealing with, what's going on inside. Sometimes we even keep it to ourselves long after the struggle is over. Why? Because something in us thinks we should be able to deal with it on our own. That we should be strong enough, smart enough, disciplined enough, wise enough, faithful enough. After all, isn't that how resilience works? If we're truly able to get back up when we fall and let our challenges make us stronger, shouldn't that mean we're capable of handling all of that on our own? Or maybe there's a better way. A way that reminds us that we don't have to do anything truly alone. So to unpack what that might be, we're headed to a passage in a book of the Bible called Ecclesiastes. And that sounds like a weird name, right? But it's an awesome book. It's a book in the Old Testament, which is the collection of books that were originally known as the Jewish scriptures. They were all written before Jesus came to the world. And as for Ecclesiastes, many scholars think King Solomon wrote the words we're about to look at. And that's pretty cool because Solomon's known as one of the wisest people who ever lived. So if anybody can help us to figure out if and when we need to ask for help, it's King Solomon. So let's dive into what he had to say in Ecclesiastes 4, verses 9 to 12. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm, but how can one person be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. Now, at first glance, this might sound like a weird way to put it, but basically Solomon's giving us a list of reasons why dealing with something difficult is easier when it's done with two people instead of one. Two people are more likely to succeed than one. 2 people are more likely to get back up after falling down than 1. 2 people are more likely to stay warm together than 1. 2 people are more likely to win in a fight than 1. You get the picture. But then he even goes on to encourage us that 3 people are even better than 2. He says when 3 people are united and working together, it's a bond not easily broken. What I love about the way Solomon wrote this is that it paints a really clear picture of a pretty big point. All of the things he's talking about here, they're acts of resilience. And none of them are easily done without a little help from someone else. See, resilience doesn't mean you're pretending you're fine or handling everything solo. It means recognizing that you need people in your life who can support you, encourage you, and help you when you struggle. But those people can't help you if they don't know you need it. So that means part of being resilient, part of finding strength and support you need to face setbacks in life is learning to ask for help. What's cool is that this isn't just an Old Testament idea. In fact, Jesus himself told us this very same thing in a different way while he was on earth. Look at what it says in Luke chapter 11. And so I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. Everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. See what I mean? Jesus literally told us to come to him, to ask for his help, to seek him, to knock on the door when we need him. And when we do, well, he promises to answer us, to be there, to support us, to love us. And does that mean we get whatever we ask or whatever we want if we just ask Jesus for it? Not really, but it does mean that when we go to him and we ask him for things in prayer and we ask for his help, he'll answer us every single time, even if it's not in the way we expect. We can trust that Jesus is there to help us. And so here's what I want us to remember. Because of Jesus, you can ask for help. Go ahead and write that down real quick. Because of Jesus, you can ask for help. No matter what you're dealing with, you can ask for help. And more than that, you should ask for help. Remember that there's strength in community. God designed us to live in connection with each other, not to deal with our challenges alone. And when you lean on others, you're giving yourself permission to be human. You're opening yourself up to community and connection. And what's more, when we engage in a community that is seeking Jesus together, we're adding him into the mix to make all of us even more resilient. If we believe this is true, and I do, then I think we have to choose to take a brave step towards being more resilient and start asking for help. So here's how I think you can do that this week. Write these down so that you can remember them. The first one, start by asking Jesus to help. The first place that we can go when we're dealing with something is Jesus. So go ahead and ask him for help. The second one, look for your helpers. God has placed specific people in our lives, our teachers, our coaches, our small group leaders, our friends around us, to be people who we can look to when we need support. Think about who would be the best person to ask for help, and then ask them. And that leads to the third one. Start with one person. Rather than thinking about having to share with a whole group of people, pick one person. Pick one person who you know, even though it might be hard, you can share it with them. And ask God for help if you need the courage to be able to share that with them. And then the fourth one, consider how you can help. Oftentimes, building resilience can feel like I have to strengthen myself, but we can build our resilience by helping others too. And so if someone around you is going through something, think about how you can help them. Because in the same time that you're helping them, you're helping yourself know that when I need help, I can ask for help too. And so remember, resilience isn't about standing alone. It's about standing together. It's about knowing that because of Jesus, you can ask for help. So as you head to small group, put this into action. If you got something going on in your life, ask for help. When your small group leader asks if there's something to pray about, bring it up and see how God will use the community around you to help. Collide, it's great being with you. I'll catch you next time.